Morning, good morning, morning, party people. It is 5 o'clock in the morning on this glorious morning. I'm your host, Mad Morgan, and you are listening to Car Musings. How's everybody doing today? How is everybody doing today? I am dead tired. I have a job interview today. It's fun. I'm hoping that goes well. And yeah, I'm exhausted, absolutely exhausted. But you know how it is, right? For me, at least, when I need sleep, I can't get sleep. It's stupid, right? The brain doesn't shut off because you're thinking about all the stuff you need sleep for. But yeah, so I needed sleep, got next to no sleep, and I'm going to be dragging my ass for it, but I'm hoping this interview goes well. Yeah, still trying to pull myself out of the bottom of the barrel after a year and a half. Um, you know, get my feet under me, so to speak. So here's hoping that this interview is going to pan out to some sort of paycheck. Hey, in the meantime, folks, we're running and everything else. I'm getting more emails for resources for support groups and mental issues, and a lot of worthy campaigns that they've asked for linkages on our website, themadmorgan.com. You should check out themadmorgan.com because we're getting a lot more resources that would be very helpful to you or somebody that you know on the madmorgan.com. You can check it in our helpful sections. We do have a bunch of resources there, articles, everything else that could be beneficial. So check it out, themadmorgan.com. And hey, while you're there, throw us a few bucks. We'd appreciate that. We could use it right now, especially since, I'm doling out a little over $100 a month just to keep the show on the air. And as you know, I'm unemployed. So, help a brother out, will ya? I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. Even if it's $5 one time or $5 reoccurring, even as little as that, that's all I'm asking. What is that? Not even a cup of coffee. So thank you very much in advance for that. Again, I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Today, I was thinking about what today we're going to talk about. And today, you know, it's interesting. How do I explain? How do I put this out there? And this is, you got to be careful. And these days, I don't know, it really matters to be careful. But I guess the question is how the hell are you making your money? And I'm going to set the press. I'm going to set that like that because I mean, there's a lot of different directions I can put that in. But how the hell are you making your money? This is what I want to know. Okay, this is the curious point about the whole thing. How the hell are you making your money? And that's probably going to be the title of today's Car Musings episode. So people have jobs, right? Jobs are great, but it seems people are losing jobs at a fast rate, and other people are just living high on the hog, so to speak. So it really makes you wonder how the hell are people pulling this off when so many people are losing jobs? And you know what's interesting? And yes, this is a reality. I'm not making this shit up. It seems to be pretty much around the age of middle-aged white guys. Some even younger than that, but mostly Caucasian males. Mm-hmm. I kid you not. I kid you not. The majority of Caucasian males have been losing jobs and have been refused some jobs to the point where, let me get my tinfoil hat, it's like a conspiracy. It's set up that way. It is set up in the system to fuck with people because somebody's trying to prove a point. And what I'm thinking is that they're trying to bring down Whitey, so to speak, because of all the years of oppression they had from all these minorities and all that bullshit. I'm honestly thinking it is that. And it's not racial. It's basically, I'm looking at people that are looking for work on, say, platforms like LinkedIn, and the majority of them are Caucasian. Not only guys, but girls too. And I'm like, what the fuck? Is it this whole inclusion clause that a lot of companies have and government and everything else? They have to be disabled or be a visual minority and all this crap like that. Is there an incentive there, or is it there like requirements, and that's why everybody's losing out on jobs? It's really fucked. It really is. When I start looking at the numbers, I start looking at the profiles, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell?" Like, we're not all losers, because I know some people that are freaking smarter than I am, and they were showing the curb. Like, they are unemployed, and I'm sitting there going, "What the hell?" And there's a whole ageist thing going on where people, in their older years, won't be given a fair shake of things. Like, it's really screwed up. It almost makes me want to go into and apply for a job and go, yeah, yeah, I recognize myself as being a visual minority with disabilities, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to play that game. Hell yeah, I'm going to play that game. Let me play that game too, right? If it's all about checking the boxes, well, this is, I got this, 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 and this. Oh, well, no, you don't. Well, yes, I do. I identify as that. I identify as having these issues. I identify as being visual minority. This is how I identify. So you can't tell me no, because I feel that's the way I feel. Give me the job. You know what? That's pretty much what it comes down to. Give me the job. I feel like I am black man from China with a limp knee disability. That's it. Okay, here you go. Oh, I'll make it even better. I feel like I'm a black man from China who's in touch with his feminine side, that I feel strong urges to be a woman, and also the fact is that I have a limp knee, as well as psychological trauma caused by my life as whatever. I can make up some really outlandish shit just to get a job. Beyond that, though, other than the employment thing, it's like, okay, if you're not working for somebody, how the hell are you making your money? I'm looking at these people that are going in to designer clothes shops or designer. I was in Coach the other day, and I'm like, yeah, I was dragged in there, not for my shopping, because I think it's outrageous to pay stupid money for stupid stuff. But anyways, and I'm looking at the element that's in there, and I'm like, are you casing the place, or are you generally shopping here? And if you're shopping here, what the hell do you do for a living? How are you making your money? This is the bigger question of the day. How are you making your money that you're able to do this? Like, absolutely insane. Here I am. I don't have two freaking red cents freaking rubbed together. 2 pennies are rubbed together. I'm hurting going in the red. How are people making their money? It's some online venture. Freaking sign me up. Let me pay my $29 for the secret formula to making it rich. Because you see a lot of that crap online. You see lots of advertisements trying to convince you that they got the magic plan. Let me tell you, folks, if you know the formula for making gold, are you going to tell anybody? No. If you know how to print money, so to speak, are you going to tell anybody? No. It just doesn't make sense to. Why would you? It's like giving away the golden goose that lays the magic eggs. You're not going to do that. It just doesn't make sense. Right? It just doesn't make sense. You are going to hang on to that sacred little tidbit because it is something of value. So when these people start clamoring on about how they got some magic formula, how they have some magic friggin' way of doing something, and they're selling it for an outrageously cheap price, you really have to sit back and wonder, in my opinion. Oh, yeah, $5. Okay, if I could find enough suckers for $5, they're not going to cause a fuss. Why would they cause a fuss? It's only $5. So you grab your easy $5. You find enough suckers, you make $100 a day. That's your paycheck. You're good. It doesn't make you don't really sweat it. You're going to sweat it if it's a $500, but you're not going to sweat it if it's like friggin' $5 out of your pocket. So, anyways, that's what I'm saying. Like, and there's a lot of people pulling these scams. There really is. And it's not that I want to pull. I want to have a hard day's work. I want to have, the integrity. I want to have, knowing that I earned my paycheck, knowing that I didn't scam somebody. At the end of the day, that's how I feel. I don't want to pull a fast one on somebody. I actually want to give some solid information that's going to help them out. But a lot of people have no problems with pulling a scam, you know. And I'll tell you, when you get frustrated enough with enough closed doors in your face, you start thinking about those scams. And you start sitting there going, fuck everybody else. I have bills to pay. I got a family to support. I got shit I need to get done. So rather than blowing away some motherfucker that put me into this situation, I am going to, I'm going to pull some fast ones. It makes you swallow your pride and your integrity and everything else. But what else are you going to do? You try to do it right. You try to do it the right way, and you just fucking can't. Like, and that's frustrating because it's like you live a good life. Like myself, I live a good life in the sense that I have integrity. I'm fully vetted, security cleared. Okay, I have been background checked up the wazoo for reliability. I'm no threat. I am basically trustworthy up the ass, like you wouldn't believe. And I can't get a job. I have tons of experience in different fields that make me cross useful in so many different areas. If given a fair go of things, I'm not dumb, but I'm not a genius either. But enough that I am an asset to any company that's willing to give me a fair shake, put me on the right track. It goes without saying. So, you look at all this stuff and you're like, why, no, we can't give you a job. And it's like, why can't you give me a job? It doesn't make sense why you can't give me a job. I'm fully vetted across the board. I am fully, verified, proofified, everything-fied. Like, there's really no reason why, oh, no, sorry, you don't have a disability or you're not black. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? That shouldn't have anything to do with anything. Now, I'm thinking, and this is where my tinfoil hat comes in, I am thinking that somebody figured, well, I'm going to give them a taste of their own medicine, so let's see how they like going through this stuff, and let's make a point of completely poisoning the well from them ever being able to get jobs. Really? So there's like a whole, black coalition or colored coalition or whatever you want to refer to yourself because you have more melatonin in your fucking skin. Like, that's basically working in secret to, go against people that repress them for so long. And I understand that, but get the fuck over it. The more you go on about it, the more it friggin's going to be an issue. The more you bring it up and dwell on it and not move forward, the more it's going to be an issue and it's going to continue. Enough of the fucking whining already. We get it. It sucked. It doesn't happen anymore, and if it does, I'd like to know, because maybe they'll give me a job. Because seriously, I need a friggin' paycheck. And no, don't get me wrong, I understand when you can't find employment, when you can't support yourself, you have to do what you gotta do. I don't want to compromise my integrity, my name, my reputation, my value, and go along dishonest lines in order to support my family. But it's very frustrating. When push comes to shove, eventually people shove back. And as much as they try to do it with decency, in the right way, if no one's friggin' given any leeway, people are going to friggin' blow their top. It gets to the point of survival. And that's the point. It's not luxury. It's not being able to sit around and do squat. It is survival. And I tell you, I'm a little too long in the tooth to just sit back and friggin' take this stuff. I will start thinking Ocean's 11 crap. I mean, I won't be violent about shit. I will basically start thinking of some outlandish stuff in order to get a paycheck one way or another, in order to pay my way and to be able to support my family and myself. I mean, think about it, folks. You know, goes in a whole different direction. If you think somebody's oppressing you, oh, shit. There's ways to go about it rather than just, getting violent and crazy. But, I think it'll be done a different way if enough people get pushed that they're being doors closed for stupid reasons on them so they can't make a living. Yeah, there will be pushback and it will be done very creatively. It will be. I mean, don't we have enough wars going on that we can't look beyond the petty crap? That's the thing that gets me. Like, isn't there enough unrest in the world that we don't have to create more for people? It doesn't serve anybody well. If anything, when times are shitty in the world, like all these wars that are going on, that collectively in the cities and peaceful places, we should be working together in cooperation. Like, that's the thing. We should be working in cooperation. So we don't have that unrest spill over into our everyday freaking life. It doesn't make sense to do that. It doesn't make sense to have that disagreement. It never made sense in the first place. Let's be honest. Nobody should be oppressed. Nobody should be without. Nobody should have to suffer. Nobody should have to, beg for their food, shelter, and everything else. I mean, we should be a completely different society in 2025, but, we're not. And we could be better. I agree. We could be better. I've always long said that I wish that there was no more money and there's no more inequality and there's no more, you're rich, I'm poor. There's no more of that crap. I really wish there was. I wish for a Star Trek reality where we basically just get along and we basically help each other out without flexing of social status and money and everything else, which is a bunch of bullshit. I'm thinking that, we should be able to move beyond that. But unfortunately, it'll take a really big change to things to be able to get people to evolve to that point, to be able to do that, to be able to look beyond all this stupidity and actually work towards common good, common goals, common existence. Because it's sad that at this day and age that I have to worry about employment and going into my senior years. Why do I have to worry about employment at this point? I shouldn't have to. This should be something that you would think as an evolved society and civil society that we would be beyond. Unfortunately, we're not. Why are we not? It doesn't make sense that we're not. It's just stupid. Just stupid indeed. That we haven't evolved to that point yet. We haven't, as a society, grown up to that. And we still have the petty issues we had 50 years ago. Now we got more issues on top of that. Why? Why? If this is a parallel existence, fucking sign me out and put me in a better one. Because I want this world to be at a better place, but holy crap, when I read the news and I read what's going on out there, like shit, if this is the really bad movie that I've seen about the end of everything, why is everybody still being assholes to each other? Why are we not helping each other? Why are we not friggin', going the extra mile to be better people? Or do we want our legacy to basically be this crappy, profile that we are of ourselves? It just doesn't make sense. Like, why would you want, if these were your last moments this is how you'd want the universe to remember you? How any survivors to remember you as being this way? Ask yourself at the end of the day. Just ask yourself that. Like people that know me in the real world, in the everyday, ask yourself, could you have been better to Mad Morgan? Probably you could have. You fucking probably could have. You probably could have helped a brother out. Help me out to freaking help me get myself back into a place of having an honest day's freaking work for an honest day's living and to be able to pay my bills to support my family. Like, could you have? Yeah, probably could have. Instead of buddying with the friggin' people that are toxic in the society, why don't you buddy with those people that could actually use a helping hand? Like my last episode, helping hand. You know, I'm not having another episode of begging. Screw that. But if you have some sort of resource that makes money, there's people out there, like myself, that could use that help. I mean, I think the government should make a program, you know, for people that are having that struggle, and help them utilize all those years of knowledge and experience, and skills, and everything else to get back on their feet again. I think it's important. There should be support groups for that because I can understand why people turn to certain solutions, why they turn to addiction, why they turn to some sort of escape. Because the reality of this, you start looking back and you're like, what the hell? Like, what the hell? I am fortunate, right, that this didn't seem to affect the women in society. They're all gloriously employed and have jobs and everything else, and that goes for my household as well. Which is great and all, except what about my own personal values? And value by feeling like I've contributed. That's the other thing. I don't like to rely on somebody else. I've always been that type of person that doesn't look for handouts, that actually earns my own way. So that's one thing that, frankly, that's why I need to get back on track with that. Because yeah, I'm gonna do more of these interviews, and I'm gonna keep trudging away. I mean, hell, I redid an excellent CV recently, and let me tell you, it's friggin' sweet. And I'm going to applaud AI to that. But AI is a fun tool. It really is. The only thing that gets me, and the only thing that concerns me, it should have been limited to people that have some skill to basically help make their challenges a little easier. But the problem is that we gave AI to stupid people. So now we got stupid people with smart tools, and that's a bad thing, right? That's a bad thing because somebody, like, it's one thing when you're stupid and you can't actually do certain things, but then here you go, here's your genie in the computer that now, although you're stupid, now you have solutions to your stupidity. And that's the thing that's scary. But anyways, I use AI to redo some wording and everything else, which is good, and I think it's a kick-ass resume or slash CV. I'm hoping it actually gets some ground, but wow. Anyways, if you know of a job, if you know, if you can help people that are struggling for no apparent reason, help getting them a job, refer them, recommend them, get them in there. You know, that would be really awesome if you could do that to help people out. Because some people are having a really big difficulty of it, and it's not good. It's not good at all, and people could really use a helping hand. If you're fortunate enough to have a lucky break, great, more power to you. But there are people out there that are hurting across the board. Do what you can to get them employed. But hey, how do you make your money? I'm curious. Like, send me some feedback. At themadmorgan.com, we have a contact sheet, contact form. Fill it out because I know people know it's there because I keep getting requests to be affiliated with organizations and to post their information as helpful resources to help people that need the help or are struggling. You know, So I know the form works because people have been using it respectfully and very well. So, you know, use it. Reach out to me. Let me know, like, if you know resources, if you know business opportunities, money making opportunities that are valid and sound. That would be great. If it's not the fact that jobs that are available, then ways that people can make money, so I can share this information with people to help them get back on their feet again. Not just for myself, but also for other people, because collectively, a lot of us talk and we're like, what the fuck? I don't understand. Why is this? Why are we in this state when we're so intelligent, and we're educated, and we have knowledge, and we're this and we're that, and we work hard, and we live a wholesome life, and we keep our nose clean? Why are we still struggling? Well, this doesn't make sense to us. There used to be a time when you were a good person, people wanted you to represent them and work for them because you were a good person and completely vetted as being a good person with good values and honesty and you name it. Why does that not matter anymore? Why is it really trivial bullshit that's getting people jobs? Well, they're not even qualified for these friggin' jobs, but they're the right color. They have the right challenges. They have the right whatever, which has nothing to do with the job, and yet they get the job, and they can't even do the job, but yet they get the jobs. The most qualified person should get the job. The most qualified person should get those jobs. Nothing other than that. If you're qualified and you're the best fit for the job, you should get the job. Nothing else should dictate for why you should get the job. So, anyways, if you have business opportunities, money making opportunities, substantial ways to make money honestly and legally, and that people can live off of, reach out, send me that information. As I said, there's a contact. You can reach us at themadmorgan.com. Check it out again, themadmorgan.com. Everything's on there. Reach out to me so I can help out people. Help them get back on their feet again. That would be awesome. So, anyways, fuck. Why can't we all just get along? Seriously, it's not that fucking difficult. And you know what? To some of you that are listening, make a point of reaching out to people that once respected you and valued you in some regards. Don't just ghost them and forget about them because they really think you're a big fucking asshole. Because I'm pointing at a few people right now that I think of that I used to revere and I used to put on quite the pedestal of respect. And right now, I think you're the biggest asshole, like so bad, because you couldn't even take the time to keep in touch, to check in once in a while, and see how, you know, things were going. You're a big asshole. You really are. And you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't care how big of an ego you think you have. Check in on people because there's people that are hurting out there, and maybe a nice, kind word, you know, from somebody that maybe somebody like, else respected. Like, reach out to these people, check in on them, see how they're doing. Don't be that dick because people are not really fucking liking you. And the more and more you do this to people that once looked up to you, the more and more you're hated. Like, seriously. At the end of the day, if you're wondering how you value as a person, people are hating you. Check in with people. A kind word now and then actually helps out people that are going through some hard times. So, help them out. Be kind. Anyways, that's it for today. I gotta get some sleep because I gotta rest up before my interview later on today. So love you all. Thank you for much tuning in to Car Musings. I'm your host, Mad Morgan. Have an amazing day. I'm recording this on a Friday, so although it's probably a month away before you hear this, either way, I hope you have an amazing weekend. Stay safe, stay true. We can make this world a better place, folks. We just have to make an effort. All of us make an effort to help each other out. Makes the world a better place. All right. I'm your host, Matt Morgan. Take care. Chill. I'll see you next episode. Bye for now.